Alrighty, so hi. I actually wanted to surprise you guys, and my room looks really bad. I've been gone from YouTube for about 7 months. I don't think I've actually done an uploading video. So I was going to show you guys what I was hiding. And if anybody doesn't understand, March of last year we were all of last in 2020 was rough and really hard. But what happened was I had this little man in November, and we didn't want everybody to know due to the fact that I went through fertility treatment and I had a really rough time going through it, and then we didn't know what was going to happen. And so we had him. I went into labor at 9 centimeters. We got to the hospital when I left the house, and we had 10 minutes, like from here to dropping our middle off at the time. She wasn't the middle, she was the youngest. I dropped her off to my grandma's, and we got to the hospital, which was less than 5 minutes away. And I found out I was 9 centimeters, so I was in labor, which I slept through most of it. I had no pain meds, nothing. I was just at home. And we had this little man. He's a month old now, and he's mad. He's very mad that he's burps. So yeah. And if you can like and subscribe to my channel, that'd be amazing. My pregnancy was weird and hard. I didn't have morning sickness, but I have something wrong with my bladder, so I had frequent UTIs, and I'm still actually fighting one right now. So being pregnant with him made it, I actually found out when I was 8 weeks pregnant that I had a UTI, and it never went away. I had maybe 3 appointments that I didn't have to be on antibiotics for, but they were monitoring to make sure the bacteria didn't grow and all kinds of things. And with that, it's not easy to, and then on top of it, I had to quit my job because I had health issues that were arising. I was going into premature labor and having issues with that, which I have to, most of my, every pregnancy I've had, which I've had 4 I carried past this 3rd trimester, and it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard not making a hormone to carry a baby. It's hard getting pregnant, seeing a positive, and then bleeding the next day. And that's what happened before we did IVF. And then we had 5 losses doing fertility treatment. And so with him, I did the treatment, but I didn't do the transfers. I got pregnant without doing a transfer, and I continued doing the progesterone shots and the capsules to carry him, because of the fact that when we were supposed to do a transfer, I broke down and crying when they told me they had to take eggs. And I told them I can't go through another loss, and they told me it was only a 10% chance that I would be able to, that I would have a successful pregnancy without it. And there was a 25% chance that my body would carry another. But the loss before him hit me really hard, and I couldn't see myself going through it again. So if you've gone through that, just know that you're not alone. And I don't know. I mean, his name is Jebediah, and I had him at 4:13 in the morning. I told my fiance, I think I'm going in labor. And he looked at me, he said, "There's no way, you don't even look like you're in pain." I said, "Well, I think I'm going into labor. I'm going to today." That was, okay, I'll put you back. That was less than 30 minutes before I pushed him out. we left the house after I told him I think I'm actually going in labor. I was starting to cry because I was getting frustrated because my back was hurting and I didn't know why my back was hurting so bad. But it wasn't like contractions. It was like 8 minutes. Then they would stop for 10 minutes. Like 8 to 10 minutes they would stop and then they would come back. And I only had like 3 contractions before he's like, do we need to go in and possibly get you checked to see if you're going in labor? And so we went in, and then when we got to the hospital, though, I was already, I was starting to have them 1 minute apart. And that was crazy, because when we got into the hospital, they checked me in ER because they didn't think I was in labor. And then when they got me in the elevator, after they told me I was a 9, they got me in the elevator, and the nurse said, we need to pull your pants down and check you again. And I was like actually getting to where I couldn't sit anymore. And I told them I felt like my hips were shattering. And she told us I was 10, but I wasn't fully infaced. And then when we got into a room, they gave me my wristband because they were called and told that they were bringing me up. And I don't really remember much because once I got to where I was in 9 centimeters, every contraction, I would start having a seizure because I do have a seizure disorder. And every time I would start having a seizure, I would end up going into a... Why is it on there? It's not supposed to be on there. I would start going into a petty seizure. And then after I was done with the seizure, I'd go back into another contraction. So I did that until I had them, and then while they were stitching me up, it happened. And then it stopped about, I think, close to 6 o'clock in the morning. And then they're like, oh, we can finally get you in the shower. So, it was actually a really amazing delivery. It was really, really fast. I was supposed to have him in Medford, but that didn't happen. My OB, made a joke about, because I saw him recently, and he said, what, you don't want me delivering your babies? And I was like, well, we want you to, but the fact is that both of my babies don't want to wait. Abigail, I was induced and he was at the hospital, and he checked me and I was only a 5. And then the nurses said she feels like she needs to push when you get her out of the bath. And they checked me again and I already went to a 9, but my water wasn't broken. He had to break my water. Both babies had to have my water broken. They broke my water when I got admitted with Jebediah, though. And the OB came in, broke the water, and said, oh, it's going to take a little bit because you're not effaced. And I screamed and said, I have to push. And he told me I had to wait. And when you're in labor, when they tell you not to push, your body automatically wants to push. And so, and then I had Jebediah after 9 pushes, because when they broke my water, he went back. He wasn't in the birth canal fully. He went back up. So I had to push him back down. And because of my seizures, they had me leaned back fully, like with my head tilted upside down to get more oxygen and blood towards my head. And so I was fighting against gravity. And so it's kind of funny, though. But with my OB that was supposed to deliver Jebediah delivered Abigail, and he barely made it in the room. They broke my water, and he said, I was like a 6 when he broke my water. They got me out of the tub because you're not allowed to be in the tub after your water breaks. And then I think less than like 30 minutes, or maybe it was even 20, they told him he needed to come, and he was actually an emergency C-section, so he couldn't. And he barely made it in the room when it was time to have Abigail. I vaguely remember my deliveries, though. After I have my babies, for some reason, I go to where I have seizures, and then I relax and everything, but during that time, I forget, everything. I mean, for me, the delivery was easier than my pregnancy, and that's kind of, shocking. I mean, people say, oh, you should enjoy bed rest. Well, when you have 3 kids, you don't enjoy, even 2 kids, you don't enjoy seeing your house a mess. Doing simple laundry puts you into contractions to where you're in labor. So at 39 weeks, I got the okay from the OB to start walking. And I couldn't walk because of how much pain I was in. And it was Thanksgiving. I had back pain. I was making turkey for my old client, who's my grandpa. And I had back pain and I didn't think about it at all. And then they went away though. And then we ate Thanksgiving and everything. I went to bed. And then I went to my grandma's house around 6. And I went to sleep there until about 9. I came home. I went to bed again. And then I woke up at 2 o'clock to pee. And that's when I said, I think I have, my bladder infection got worse, or I think I'm in labor. And that's what I said with Jebediah. We chose his name as Jebediah Lee Grigsby, Lee Jr. Grigsby. And his name actually, Daddy picked it out off of his favorite song, which is, forgot the name of it because I don't like the song. But the middle name means a lot. My grandpa's middle name is Lee. His daddy's middle name is Lee, and then we have Lee is from both family sides. And so it doesn't just mean it's not just a name for a name. It actually, like, we carry it through. And the people that we named the middle name after on top of Daddy, which is my fiance, we named it because you never like, for me, I did it because I know my grandpa's not going to stay around for forever, and there's going to be a time that you sometimes don't have pictures and everything to remember. Sometimes you remember it by a family name, and that's why I wanted my kids to have his middle name. And since he's the only son that I have here, he has a brother who. What? And so, yeah, he had a head full of hair, and he's lost a lot of hair, but his hair was really, really thick and curly. And it kind of, when I washed it the first time, it kind of went straight. But he lost a lot of hair on the front. So, he's in 3 to 6 months clothes for everybody that wonders. And, he fits 3 to 6 months clothes, and he was born at 8 pounds, 7.8 ounces, and 21.5 inches long. He came home in 0 to 3 months, and then he was able to still fit newborns. They were just super short on him, but now you can't put newborn or 0 to 3 months on him. This is a 3 to 6 months, and it's actually a little tight on him. Tight on his waist, and kind of don't know how long he'll fit legs, but we'll see. If you guys have any questions or anything, you comment below. If you can like and follow my page and subscribe, that would be amazing. If you want to check out my store, there's a discount. It's called Nikki. I will comment it below in the description. I will put it. You get 25% off of everything other than fragrances on the store. And I think Ride On Toys I took it off of, because the Ride On Toys I'm already giving them a big discount for. Everything's already marked down 25% on my store from retail price. Or is it 50? Ride On Toys I have 25% off because of what I put the retail price as. I don't bump them up really high. And then I think I did 50% off on the clothes plus the 25% off. So it's really 75% off is what you would get. And then the fragrances I already have marked down the lowest I can do, because I won't be making a profit on most of them. So, but if you guys want to check that out, it would be amazing, and it would be helpful. I actually am going to be going back to work. I wanted to be able to be a stay-at-home mom, but with having a baby that I forgot to mention, has a dairy, soy, and gluten allergy. On top of it, I'm pretty sure he has something, he's sensitive to corn, because of me and Daddy both break out whenever we have corn, and he has baby eczema, which started after he had a reaction to a medicine for thrush. And it gets worse. And then if he has, we have a corn-based formula I tried, even though he's breastfeeding, we tried it because I was in the hospital. and he ended up projectile vomiting and screaming, and everything was just horrible. And he ended up getting a rash around his mouth wherever the formula touched. So I'm pretty sure he has a corn sensitivity. I'm not sure if it's an allergy. So we thought this was all baby acne that he has, and then we found out actually it's eczema, which I have eczema really, really bad if I eat stuff that I'm sensitive to. So he doesn't burp easy, which sucks. I need to go to if you guys have anything though you want to add in or ask questions, you could comment it below. And then this video I just made, I didn't record or anything, I just made it live. So he's doing a lot of grunting and everything. We started cloth diapers officially today because he went through both boxes of number ones and both boxes of newborn I had, plus I had two other boxes of newborn that I gave away. And he was already on the size 1 diapers though, he blew out of, and he peed through them in less than 30 minutes. And so I would rather just do cloth because it's cheaper, it's healthy for the economy, and it's healthy for the skin, and he doesn't have a diaper rash as of right now. So we're hoping, and if he gets one, then I'll be changing the laundry soap. He's actually a really easy baby though. I mean, this is what he does most of the day, is just sleep, snuggled up to me. Oh, and he has a premature lung. His left lung is only the size of a 24-week baby, and they're trying to figure out why. And so we can't lay him flat. We leave him at an incline. So I sleep pretty much like this, or I lay down a little bit, but he has to be facing my chest, laying his stomach on my chest so he can breathe. He can't lay on his back fully unless he's awake, and that's only for a diaper change, because his chest and his legs will turn blue. His doctor said if it's just his feet, it's okay, and his legs a little bit, but he actually turns like a purple color, and so we do not do it. When his lungs get bigger and he can handle it, then I'll be doing it, but right now I don't. He doesn't need a oxygen tubing though, which is awesome, as long as we don't lay him down. So, but we do have, I use a monitor on him sometimes, but that's only whenever I put him in the car seat. And lately we haven't been going anywhere. And he will be, if I do go back to work or anything, he will be going with me due to the fact that Daddy works full time, and his job, he travels, and I don't trust a daycare to be able to give, or anybody to be able to give Jebediah the care that he needs if something happens. And so he does aspirate, and so what we do for that is we have to listen to his lungs, and then if we notice that he did aspirate, if we saw him do it, we have to take him to the doctor the next day, or in our case, we have to call a special number and ask for a chest x-ray to make sure he doesn't get pneumonia. But so far it's been good. He only aspirated twice, and the first time is when we ended up at the hospital because he turned blue and he was just choking and he couldn't stop. And that's when that was the week I decided to cut out the gluten, and his doctor said most kids that have acid reflux get to where they aspirate easier, and since he has a lung issue, gluten causes the acid more, and he hasn't had a problem since I cut it out. He's actually gaining and everything. He's way past his birth weight. I don't even know what he weighs. When he was 8 days old, they weighed him at almost 10 pounds. So I don't know what this little turd bucket weighs. I mean, look at him. He's so beautiful. Hi. So I am going to be opening up a baby store. So everybody needs to keep their eyes and ears out for that. And I think this is going to be connected to Facebook too. If you have a certain brand you want us to carry, please comment it below and I'll check, because I want what everybody else wants. I want to be able to be a stay-at-home mom, or at least part of the time. And I want to be able to give my kids everything they want. I mean, my kids have a lot of clothes, and that's my downfall, but then our goal is in the next 3 years to be able to buy a really, really nice house and have a warehouse behind it. So then I don't have to have other people having a warehouse somewhere else. And then on top of it, there's a baby company that I recommend 100% for lotions and everything. CBD Beauty Queens is what I use on my skin. I use their face products. I use their body lotions. I use their creams. I use the face creams. I use their yoni oil, which is because I have a bladder disease and it helps a lot. And their pain relief gel. And then for the babies, they have a baby company. It's called Bumblebee Co. There's no CBD in it. And she is going to be making some stuff, I think, that has CBD in it for moms. But I'm not sure. And then on top of it, they have creams that I use on Jebediah. His face was a lot worse if I don't use it. And we use I use all of her products. And then on top of it, I use Earth Mama. I don't believe in using any chemicals, parabens, or dyes on my babies, or even waxes. I believe in holistic things. I don't believe in formula unless it's really needed, but there's nothing wrong with formula. I mean, I've tried it. I tried it for him, and it was horrible. And so we're going to be doing strict breast milk. The only reason why I tried it is because of his food allergies. It makes it really, really hard. It's hard to find food that I can have, and it's hard to make food because everything you think doesn't have corn in it, if you look, it has corn. If you don't think it has soy in it, it has hidden soybean oil. It doesn't have to be listed on the package unless it's over a certain percent. Just like gluten. It doesn't have to be listed as gluten unless it's over 20 ppm. And then if it says it's gluten-free, you still have to check because it still can have something that has gluten attached to it. Even oatmeal, you have to be very, very careful with. Which oatmeal I've eaten gluten-free oatmeal, and I'm not sure if maybe he's sensitive to it or not, because the days I don't, he sleeps better, and he's not so wiggly and squirmy. But, I mean, this is Jebediah, and the only thing is everybody's only seen pictures. They have not seen him on live camera yet. So this is what he looks like. He did have more hair than what he has, but he's got this little old man head started to where he's losing the top of his hair. He weighs, I'm not sure how much he weighs. I did measure him today, and he was almost 23 inches. It was a little bit over 22 and a half. And so, but my measurement could be off. He might not be as long as what I think. I don't know what he weighs. The last time I stood on the scale, I know what I weighed, and I tried him, and it doesn't seem correct, because according to that, it was 17 pounds. But he doesn't feel like he's that heavy. I'm praying he's not that heavy. I'm praying maybe the scale was off or something. So we'll only see at his 8-week checkup. If you guys want anything, it is go to abbysbusybee.com. I want to show you what came in the stocking. So here's the stocking. You get a tan one. I think they did a red one, and you get a green one depending on who you ordered it. And then it comes with the bath soap, the body cream, pull off for your other different ones, and other bath bombs, and then bath melts. I'm actually wrapping the gifts and separating them. So these are Jebediah's. I got. Now he has. So these are his. He gets the bath milk, and then both get all the other stuff. My daughter's crazy over him, so and then these are what the bath milk like pull off. Really relaxing ones. And then there's a lot of Oh, and if you guys want to know, sorry, I was typing. I had to respond to somebody. There's a customer asking me a question. Everybody wants to know who I'm who I affiliate with. It is Bumblebee Baby Coat it's something my friend owns, but I support her products only because I actually get to see and feel the product. And on top of it, she supports my company, and I think it takes people supporting each other for the business to grow. And I, on top of it, me and the owner actually have the same bladder disease and certain things, so we can actually talk. It's kind of weird though that I have a lot of people that come to me, why would you use that product? And I'm like, well, because what's in it? I believe in not adding a whole bunch of dyes and parabens and junk to my stuff, and I know what her business stands for. She doesn't add things to it. I mean, I would prefer it to be handmade and not in a huge factory. I mean, it could be. I would love if she had a factory one day and it was a huge what she wants. But she's growing every single day, and she manufactures the product and everything, and she does everything herself with helpers. And it just means, to me, if you can put that time and love and care into your product, there's much more into it than just someone going for a paycheck. I would prefer my products not to come from China. A lot of bath bombs I've noticed have come from China or from other countries that add stuff to them. They don't list them. And when I'm putting something on my kids, I think about, is it going to affect their skin or their life later on? Because me as a mom, a lot of things that I used as a teenager and as a kid affect my life now. I have eczema, psoriasis, a bladder disease that is uncurable. There's no answers for it. Doctors don't even, it's pretty much a guessing game. It's very frustrating. It's called interstitial cystitis, and it's very, very much some doctors say, we're only guessing this will work for you, and they will toss 30 meds at me. I mean, yesterday I had my doctor look at me, and she says, for how much pain you're in, which I actually went in because I think my appendix is going bad. You guys can't tell that I took oxycodone today for pain, because guess what? I don't overdo it. And on top of it, the pain's not fake. I mean, I've been in bed almost all day other than I had a shower, and I'm taking care of him, and I have help with the little one today, my 3-year-old. But my bladder pain that I have isn't as bad as the pain I had yesterday, and where I think is going out on me. The hospital told me if it gets worse to come back, but it might be too early to tell if it is going out or not. And I was crying when I went in, and I didn't know I was in labor with him. My labor was so easy because with Abigail I was induced, and with Alessandra I was in labor for so long that I started getting frustrated because they stitched my cervix shut. With Jebediah, I didn't think I was in labor. I thought I would have got there at 4 centimeters, maybe, possibly at 4 centimeters, maybe not even been in labor. And that's what I thought. But of course I was wrong. And when I'm crying in pain, my fiance says it's either 911 or you're going to the hospital because something's wrong. And if I'm using a pain med at home, I don't use pain meds even for my bladder. My doctor prescribed me Teradol yesterday, I think it was. And I have yet to pick it up from the pharmacy. I'm avoiding it because I don't even want to have it in my house because I don't think I'll need it. I'm allergic to ibuprofen, Tylenol, and Vicodin. And on top of it, I'm not able to take aspirin. So that kind of tells you how my pain tolerance is, I think. The hospital yesterday said, well, you're not in too much pain because you're able to walk the hall. And I said, it's not as bad as, now that you guys gave me fentanyl, it's not as bad it's not worse than having a baby. And the lady goes, well, then that means you're not in pain at all. Or she said, she said that, or she said another thing is, well, you're a redhead, so pain normally shows up harder on you. It's worse for you than an average person. I looked at her and said, no, actually, we have a higher pain tolerance. So when I told you, and I came in here crying with my blood pressure down at 92 over, it was 92 or 94 over 62. I remember the bottom number. I don't remember the top. But my heart rate was over 150. And then when they gave me fentanyl, it dropped to 43. And my normal blood pressure. And then when I said, well, I think my heart rate's a little low when they were getting ready to discharge me. And she goes, oh, it's probably just how your body is. You probably have a low heart rate and don't notice it. And I was like, no, my normal heart rate is at 70. So, but he ended up going with me to the hospital because he wouldn't take anything. What, you getting mad? He's got gas and he doesn't let it out. That's the problem. We do gas drops normally, but I can't find where Sissy put the syringe. So until she comes home, I don't know where she put it. It's not where it goes and it's not in the kitchen. So, if you guys have any questions though, comment them below. I would love to see them. If you guys have anything to say about my store, if it's nice, you can say it. If it's something you want me to carry, I would enjoy to hear your feedback. You can even just check it out or share the thing. I will give you the discount code that I have for my one customer that I gave her own code, and she's a sweetheart. She is, it makes it to where she will be getting, she gets stuff from my store a lot. So she's actually, if I have no sales that month, I know she's buying something probably that month. So she's the one person that I know I can use her code no matter what, and help her get certain things that she wants. I do a point system. So when people use, you can sign up and you guys will get points with however many dollars if you spend $1, you get 1 point. So however many dollars you spend on my store, you get a point. And when it hits a certain amount of points, you guys get a free item. I forgot what I had it chose as, but that is what it is. Let me go to my thing and I'll give you, I forgot exactly what I put her code as. She knows what it is. I forgot it. So I need to go check it out. Oh goodness. I want to show you what came in the stocking. So here's the stocking. You get a tan one, pink faded, a red one, and you get a green one depending on who ordered it. And then it comes with body cream, roll off, and a different one, and another bath bomb, and then baking bath melts. I'm actually cracking to get the separator up. So these are that I got. Now he has a collection of. These are his, and it's the bath melts. Oh shit. Alright, well, I'm getting off here. I'll put the code below. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry it took so long.